It's another Gettin Real with Ashleydawn. This one's a nighttime edition, so that's fun. On my way somewhere special, but wanted to share this with you because it just hit my spirit, and I thought maybe, hey, somebody's out there that could be blessed by this. Okay, in the beginning, right, God creates everything. He, sets Adam and Eve in the garden. Everything's beautiful. They can eat whatever they want, but there's one tree they can't eat, right? Obviously, they're curious. They want to eat the tree they can't eat, whatever. Can we just talk for a second about Eve? She was all by herself, right? And homegirl was talking to a snake. She's talking to a snake. Okay, she was used to talking to God and talking to her husband. But she was talking to a snake. I don't know about y'all, but I've talked to some snakes in my day too. And you think when you're reading the story, you're like, but why was she talking to a snake for? Isn't that weird? Like, homegirl, come on, you're talking to a snake. But how many of us, if we're being real, have talked to snakes too? Have talked to that person we know is no good for us. Have talked to that person we know gossips about everybody in their life. Why do we think they're going to be any different? We've heard, the stories of them mistreating all these different people, but we think that we're different. We think that we're special. Oh, they won't mistreat us. They mistreated 15 mutual friends that we know, but we're different. They're not going to hurt us. That guy that's got, a bunch of baby mamas and kids by all these different women, you think he's going to treat you any different? How's he treating his baby mamas? Not good? You think he's going to treat you good? What makes you so special? Maybe you're talking to a snake, and maybe you need to realize, hey, this is a snake, and snakes are going to slither their way into your life, and they're going to say all the right things. But guess what? Snakes can't walk. Ashleydawn, what are you talking about? There's a lot of people that can talk the talk. They can say things that they know are going to get inside your heart. They can say all the right things. They can slither their way in there, right? They can tell you everything you want to hear. But they can't walk it out. Snakes can't walk either. They slither on the ground, trying to find a cold, dark place. Maybe there's some people in your life that are trying to find a cold, dark place. Don't let it be you. Don't invite them to stay longer than they should. When they start saying all kinds of stuff bad about other people, that's where you draw the line. You say, you know what? You may like to gossip, but that's really not what I'm into, and I really don't do the whole gossip thing. That's really not my thing. I'd really appreciate if you didn't gossip around me. You're entitled to your opinion, but please don't gossip around me. If somebody starts saying all kinds of stuff about other people, what makes you think they're gonna not say all kinds of things about you? Snakes can't walk. There are people in your life that say all kinds of things, but they can't walk it out. Start looking at the people that are talking to you and their actions. What are they doing? Not what are they saying. What are they doing? What are they doing? What was the snake doing? Hanging out in a tree? Trying to talk to Eve, trying to convince her to do things she knew she shouldn't do. Maybe you need to investigate the lives of the people that are telling you things to do. And you need to look at them and be like, are they making good choices? What does their life look like? What kind of things are they doing? What kind of things are, they giving their time and effort to? Because snakes slither. Are there people in your life that are slithering, that are saying things, that are doing things, and you're just like, I don't feel right about this? Maybe there's a reason. Maybe you need to cut them people out your life. Listen, I know it's hard. I know it's hard when you care about somebody and, you know that they mean you no good, but you just want to believe the best in them. You want to believe that you and their relationship is different. Well, guess what? It's not. Your relationship with them is not different. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. If it barks like a dog, it's a dog. If it slithers like a snake, it's a dang snake. We need to stop believing the best in everybody and believing that, oh, it's going to be different with us. No. Look at their actions. What are their actions proving? What are their actions proving? Because anybody can say something. I can tell you all day long, I'll give you $1 million. But if I don't have $1 million, I'm not giving you $1 million. I could say it all day long, but unless I do it, it don't really count. It don't really matter. There are people in your life that are going to be saying all kinds of things, but if they're not willing to walk it out, if they're not willing to do all the things that they're saying they're going to do, then it don't mean nothing. Sometimes we got to look at ourselves and be like, girl, you were talking to a snake. Of course you fell for those lies. Of course you fell for that junk. You were talking to a snake. We look at the story in Genesis and we're like, come on, Eve, come on. You fell for that? Come on, girl. Why'd you fall for that? But if we look at our own dang life, we can see the same things. We fell and we have fallen for some dumb junk. We have fallen for snakes, knowing darn well they're a snake, knowing darn well they ain't got no good intentions whatsoever. We should have known better. Let's stop believing the best in people. I mean, yes, we should believe the best in people, but if there is evidence that's proven that they mean you no good, that they are not a blessing to you, that they gossip all over town, that they steal, that they lie, that they don't tip their waiters, that they treat people like they're above people and people are below them, that's your sign that they're not a good person. And if they're not a good person, you probably shouldn't be spending time with them. If they're mistreating other people in your presence, they're gonna mistreat you. It's only a matter of time. Right? Tigers don't change their stripes unless there's a miracle. And snakes don't walk. They can slither, they can say all kinds of things. Sometimes we need to just realize, I guess they change their mind, they're not turning. Sometimes we just need to realize that the people in our life not all the time mean us good. Sometimes they mean us harm. And we need to evaluate who means us harm and who doesn't. And we need to get from around the people that mean us harm. If Eve would have looked at the snake and said, why are you all by yourself, little snake? Why are you talking to me? Why aren't you waiting to talk to my husband? If she would have questioned it and she would have thought to a second, why is this snake trying to get me to eat this apple or eat this from this fruit? Why does this snake want me to do this thing so bad? What does the snake have invested in me doing this? If we would just pause and look at the situation and be like, okay, yeah, I'm thinking this isn't a good situation. I'm thinking that this person, they probably don't mean me any good. They probably mean me some harm. And we would just evaluate the situation, that we would evaluate the source. Come on, somebody. Sometimes we got to realize that the source is not reliable. That snake was not a reliable source, and she fell for it. And what happened? Read the book of Genesis and you'll find out. Sometimes we fall for stuff. I, Ashleydawn, have fallen for a lot of stuff. I've fallen for a lot of lies. I've fallen for a lot of games. I've fallen for a lot of tricks. I've fallen for a lot of things that me being as smart as I am really should not have fallen for. Chalk it up to not realizing who the source was. Sometimes you got to ask yourself, who is the source? The person in your life that's just gossiping and talking trash and saying all kinds of things. right? Let me try to put some light on up in here. The person in your life that's, saying all kinds of awful things about people. I could have just turned there. Oops. Do you really are they a reliable source? Do you really want them to have a say-so in your stinking life? I don't. If somebody's gossiping and trash talking all kinds of people, I don't want nothing to do with them. They're a snake. They are a darn snake. If somebody thinks they're better than somebody else, I don't want nothing to do with them. They're a snake. I don't want snakes in my life. Do you want snakes in your life? I don't think so. This is bothering me when I drive. That light's fine though. Honestly, you have to look at yourself. If you keep falling for people's games, maybe you need to realize that you're talking to some snakes. Maybe you need to realize that the people in your life don't mean you any good and you need to get from around them. That's my little insight for tonight. It's a little one. I hope it encourages you. Stop talking to snakes. Stop listening to unreliable sources. If people are giving you advice that they wouldn't take themselves, don't listen to that advice. There's a lot of people that'll come into your life and try to convince you to do things that they know they themselves wouldn't do. Maybe they're jealous of you. Maybe they're trying to watch you fall. Do you know there are people that want to see you fall, that want to see you fail? There are. You can't listen to every voice you hear. You can't listen to every piece of advice that comes. Even things that I say. Don't listen to everything that I say. Check it with the Word of God. Check it with your spirit. If I say something and it doesn't sit well with your spirit, don't listen to me. Listen to your spirit, man. Listen to God. Listen to the Bible. Don't take for granted that I know everything, because I don't. Don't take for granted that snake is talking to you, knows everything, because it don't. That snake wanted to see Eve fail, and it did. Who in your life wants to see you fail? Don't let them. Don't let them see you fail. Don't take an unreliable source and think that it's reliable, because it ain't. I hope this encouraged you. You are seen, you are celebrated, and you are loved, and I want you to win. I want you to only listen to reliable sources, not to listen to snakes. I don't want you listening to snakes. I don't want people hurting you. I don't want people harming you. I want you to be encouraged. I love you. More importantly, God loves you. Like I said, I hope this encourages you. Don't be talking to snakes. You know what a snake is. You can feel when a snake's around you. You can. If you look closely enough and if you investigate enough, you can sense when a snake's around you. And if you can't, ask God for discernment. Ask God to show you. Listen to the voices around you. And that's something that I will say. Sometimes I haven't known who's been snakes in my life. But guess who has? My mom. And she said, I don't think they mean good for you. Guys that have been like, oh, I love your daughter. I want to marry her. I just, I'm not ready yet. Just now's not the time. But, that's the next step. I'm going to marry your daughter. And my mom's like, I don't trust them. I should have listened to my mom. Because my mom has a lot of wisdom. Maybe your mom has a lot of wisdom. Maybe your friend has a lot of wisdom. Maybe somebody in your life that is trying to get your attention that's like, hey, pump the brakes, pause. I don't think they're who you think they are. Maybe you need to take their advice. Maybe you need to take their wisdom. I hope this encouraged you. Stop talking to snakes. Stop talking to snakes. God has more for you. God has good things in store for you. Don't talk to snakes. Love y'all. Catch you in the next one.